Hello world, bringing it to you live, raw and real. This way there's not going to be so much fluff with all the editing and just get on to the good stuff with you guys. Now today I'm going to walk you guys through a couple projects I'm about to finish. And first thing, we're going to do some water, show you guys how I do my soft water and how I blend it with my tap water. And also I got some reverb in this garage. I got this computer on. Give me a second. And also I got some reverb in this garage. I got this computer on. Let's see. So I'm gonna have this on while I do some CPD eggs, and you guys can ask me some questions and I can see the chat better. But here's a couple other things we're gonna do. I'm going to walk through this tank, the Ted Judy tank method that he had put the mesh down on the bottom of the tank. I'm going to run you guys through that real quick since I'm about done. And also the tetra breeding project I've been working on. I got it all set up. Going to show you the fish I'm going to put in there. And kind of a little bit more about this and things I could do with it and all that jazz. Here's a bunch of the CPD babies. We'll probably be pulling some eggs out of there. I had all these unfinished projects, so I figured I might as well bring you guys along and show you guys some stuff and kind of like how it goes and whatnot. So let's get over to the water. Hello all. See a lot of you saying hello in the chat there. But first things first, this is how I do my soft water. So when I'm breeding my tetras and all that, they like softer water, which means they like, this is more hardness, the TDS of it, not pH, not physical softness. pH is more acidity, and this is more about the actual softness of the water. So on this side here, I've got water that is straight from the RO system. So let me get the TDS meter here real quick in my pocket. I'll show you guys how low this actually is. And we got 20, 19, which isn't too bad. And this is gonna be, I'm gonna try to shoot around in between 150 200. As long as I'm in that, I should be good. But I always keep this stored back, and what I do, I mostly take water out of this. What I'll do is I'll fill it up about halfway, maybe about 2/3, and then I'll add the rest tap water, and then that's how I get my mix. But I also like to mix it up before I actually use it, especially if I'm using it that same day. So I got this pump that I can flip-flop to either side. So I'll go ahead and throw that down there. Get this started. I've got a surge protector up here, which could, that way I could just flip a switch and it starts and goes. So we'll let that run for a little bit. Hopefully I don't forget about this. Luckily I got a drain back here in case I do, but hopefully I don't. So let's walk you guys through the breeding project now. Kind of show you the setup, and then I'm going to show you the fish that I'm going to stick in there real quick. Now I'm going to need more tanks because now I'm getting in this soft water project stuff. Kick this fan off. I'm learning that I'm running out of tanks real quick because these are all full of babies, and those are got some pairs in it, and this, that, and other. But onto this setup, I've got this mesh bag. Ooh, that's kind of hard to see with the reflection. This mesh bag in here that I showed you guys how I made on the last video. And I've got a piece of driftwood in here, just kind of make it nice for them, give them a nice natural feel. Some water lettuce with low roots. Now this is all cycled water. I actually took the water out of these tanks, just drained it into here, so it's ready to go. That way I don't have to worry for cycling, any of that jazz. I did put a sponge filter in there to help collect bacteria. It would not, just to kind of help things. Whether it's necessary or not, I don't know. Probably not, but I added these leaves in here too. Hopefully that'll help keep fungus and stuff getting on the eggs without having to rely on like methyl blue. Get more of a natural approach to it. And the water that I'm mixing up is, that I just showed you guys, is actually what's going into these tanks. And then this will be ready for the Ted Judy. I'm kind of wishing now that I didn't put these in here. I should have just left this bare bottom 40. And I could have stuck like 3 of these basket things in there and had like 3 groups of the same species breeding out in one. But you live and you learn. So that's one other thing I would change. And one thing I wanted to tell you guys about too, good way to lower the pH, which would be the acidity instead of alkalinity. What are you breeding? Probably going to put some ember tetras in here to start off with. So I'll show you guys that. But there's this stuff called sphagnum moss. This tank's getting treated. As some of you guys know, I use this API type cycling. This used to be my algae tank, which was actually one of my best tanks for breeding and raising up fish and all that jazz, but I had all this eco complete, so I thought it was such a waste to be making this my algae tank. So I used API TC, pretty much got rid of like all the algae. I got green water in here, trying to do the same. I was going to try to throw back the timer and split up the photo period by 2 hours, but I've got green water over here, and I kind of need that for these albino rainbow fish. You can kind of see 2 of them there. They're kind of golden looking. There's another one. But the fry tend to love the green water better, so that kind of looks not good now because it's a mix between the TC and whatnot. But onto, if you want to make your water more acidic, show you guys this stuff called sphagnum moss. Now you could use peat moss, but it's kind of dirty. You can put it in a media bag, and it gets in the tank a lot more than like sphagnum, and it doesn't quite do as good of a job. This will tannin more. This one won't tannin. This is something called sphagnum moss, and you get it in like this, and it kind of looks like that. And you could stick that in a media bag or something and put it in like on the other side of the basket. That would really drop the pH down. It's great for tetra breeding. If I need to do that, need to worry about pH, I'll probably go towards that method. I just ordered some. But most of the time it's just the TDS that matters, which I kind of showed you guys earlier. And let's see what the TDS in this one. But I'm going to try to breed them with just the method of the TDS and not worry about pH so much. So 156, that's about perfect where I want to be. It's soft, but not too soft. Which tetras, I mean, they can live in a lot softer, but I got plants in there, which the plants don't matter as much to me. So let's go ahead. I'm going to have to kind of slow walk my way into this fish room because I'll start going into Lego Lucas. Let me check on the time of this. Yeah, so I still got a little while till I gotta worry about that. I always like to check it, that way I can judge how much is left. I wanted to make sure that lever was on. Always just try and guess my TDS number, like the lotto. Yeah, really hard to guess your TDS number unless you really kind of already got a feel for it. But here's the ember tetras. I just ripped this tank up. Had all these nice balls of subwasser tang in here. Like huge amount. I don't even know what I'm going to do with all that. Made a nice moss wall, natural moss wall stuck to the back of the tank there. Looks like I lost you guys on chat. But anyways, I'm going to use these guys because I kind of need to save this crypt here. This is like one super rare crypt, one of the rarest. Crypt Fredus something. I always call it the Hawk because it reminds me of Lou Ferrigno's name, the last name Ferrigno. I'm not sure what it is. Starts with the F like that though. Any tips on growing subwasser tang? They like soft water, hard water, and they like to be fed. That's the most important. They like to be fed. They love CO2. This is one of the very few tanks I run CO2 in. So this tank has been getting CO2. I want to hit it with some hydrogen peroxide, kind of kill all this algae, focus on the plants in it more because of this crypt mostly, especially since it's split off into a couple few. I'd like to take over this tank with the crypt. Anyways, on to the tetra breeding. Here's the invert tetras. I'm pretty sure these are all males. And I've got like a few females in here. A couple of them are real hard to tell. But there's one that I really know is a female. Because she is super chunky. Oh yeah. Let them quit spazzing out here for a second. Yeah, you see the one in the corner? She's nice and plump. She's holding eggs. So I'm going to take her and like probably this male on the very end here. It has some of the best color even after being in here for quite a while. They've been in here for like an hour or so, so they've lost some color. But that's the beauty part about doing this too, is I get the more I breed them out, the better I could get the colors, the better I could get the genetics. We can have some awesome looking tetras in the hobby. That'll be more towards like wild caught, because I plan on mixing the groups up, stuff like that, just to keep the genetics up, which I believe everybody who's breeding needs to keep that in mind, that you want to keep the genetics deep. So don't just breed you one pair or one group, you got to split it up. So let's take these guys in here and get the party started. How do fish breed? Like, do they have... No, they don't. They actually spread their semen all over their eggs. That's what they do. So it's kind of unique. Alright, gotta get a net for these guys. And we're gonna glue the legs on that Ted Judy project. Let's see, find my net. Need a little net. Got an assortment of all kinds of nets. Where is my little net? I had a little one here. Must be in here. Most sphagnum moss comes dry or does it have to be alive? I think it's better to get it alive, that's for sure. I guess I'll use this one. I'm gonna rinse it off real well. Oh, there's my finger. Okay, now, since this got algae all over, I'm gonna rinse it off real quick. Luckily, I got a dedicated bathroom for all this. Kind of spoiled in that sense. This water gets super hot. But I got one of my outflows comes in here too. Alright. That's clean. So yeah, you guys are getting all the real look, kind of like a day in the life of what I got, what I mess with and deal with and all that jazz. I got a few tanks still left to play with. What I'm wanting here is I could do 36 tens and either 340s or like 620 highs. So it'll be 12 tens, 12 tens, 12 tens, and then something on the bottom. It's kind of like this stand, just more tens and a little longer. Alright, let's get these crazy fish in here. Split them up. Here, let me try to get them to where you guys can see them too. Oh, they look much better there. Let you guys have a gander at them. Hopefully my phone don't fall in. Alright. Whoa, crap! About dead falling. Whew. Lucky there. Alright, that's one thing about life. You never know what's going to happen. I can't edit this stuff out. Alright, let's see. Which one was that? I think it was this one. That other one looks pretty plump too. Come here. She loves to stay in that subwater tank. She did that to me when I was trying to catch her too. She would just throw her nose into something and just go to town. Look at the color on her. Beautiful. I love these tetras. I actually bred 2 of these once in a whole different method. Dang it, this is kind of hard to do. Let me do this. Get out of there, fish. Hey. I gotta sit you guys down a second. There we go. So I want to get that algae in there. So I try to keep the net out of the tank. Which, I mean, this is pretty low light. I doubt much algae is actually going to grow. Now that brain's good, fish is going to have brain damage. Right? Shaken fish disease. No, that fish will be alright. That'll just make it remember that it doesn't want to be out of the water. So it'll be less likely to jump. Come on, get in there. It's kind of hard to do with the camera, especially selectively choosing them. Yep, there they go. Alright, now what to do with the other ones, that's the biggest question. I guess I can hang out there for a while. That's not going to hurt them. Throw in some stuff for them. I wonder. Because most of these tanks, like I said, are all filled up. Because I got blue Galaris killifish growing out, all that. See if you can see these guys. Not really, kind of hard to see. But you can see I got a nice gap here, so I can see any eggs. I can get a flashlight on it. And I'll check this tomorrow morning, and probably tomorrow afternoon, probably tomorrow evening. And then just hopefully see some eggs. So we got 150 TDS in there. The ambient room temperature is probably about 74, 76, which should be alright. Should be good enough. Good enough. Let me know when you get sick of that rainbow tank. I'll be sure to come snatch it for you. Yeah, that'll be a long time. Alright, let's see. What else was I going to cover with you guys? Oh, yeah. Oh! We're going to mess with this thing, so let's get this fan off here. I was using this fan to help cure the silicone faster. I don't know if it actually helps, but I tried it. Figure what's it gonna hurt. So pretty much essentially what I did, I had the black trim that I took off here. I'll start from scratch, walk you guys through what I did. Some of you got to see some of it the other day on that live stream. But essentially what I did, I took this black trim, this was a regular 10-gallon tank, took a heat gun, and just went around it, not burning anything, but just kept going around it, warming it up enough. And then I got something metal to pry. Like, I had to pry on the black trim pretty hard to get it off. But it came off. So I finally got that off. And then the hardest part was getting the glass off the bottom. Now, Ted Judy made a video on how to do this. And he didn't show how to take that bottom glass off. And he was scraping it on the edge, trying to get a wedge in between, which is like pretty much impossible. And it makes a lot of shards. So I found it easier to just smack the bottom of it with a pair of pliers. Make sure you got glasses on and stuff. And it will bust and crack in. And then you can just kind of like peel the pieces off. Worked a lot better, less shards, less mess, less stress, all that jazz. And then cleaned off all the silicone, everything around the edge, and then silicone this to the mesh right here. Just beaded it around with this. Is what I used was this Aqueon sealant. Now they make all kinds of stuff you could use for that. I've bought quite a few of these tubes just to have handy since I've got so many fish tanks around. Who knows, I may be getting in projects, so I keep that kind of stuff around. Anyways, put that around it. Stuck this on while the mesh and everything was wet, and then flipped it over, put the fan on it, cured it real good. So the next step to do now is to kind of put some legs on it. See, I don't know how these are going to go. We want to roll off. But I mean, I don't really need any big legs, just something easy. Should be able to cut it off with a guitar string pretty easy. Ooh, I don't know about that. I would hate to slip on that guitar string, have that glass come flying at you. But if you're real careful with it, oh, good thing I came in here. Alright, let's shut this down. So this is about ready. Happy birthday, Short and Anxious. Awesome. Thanks for the super chat, Joel. Thanks for having a birthday, Short and Anxious. So he'd throw me that and I'd say that. But I didn't know it was your birthday, so happy birthday, definitely. She's been great with helping with the community and me getting off on the YouTube and all that jazz. Let's see, we're getting the silicone for the legs. We need to deal with this. There was something else I needed in here. Now they tell you if you forget what you're doing, always go back into the room that you're in and then it'll remind you. So let's see if that works. So I was getting that, we had that. That's what I was thinking in mind. I was thinking I had to get that for some reason. Oh well. But anyways, we'll come back and glue these legs on here. And let's go deal with this water and show you guys what we were talking about at the beginning. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's awesome. Happy birthday, Short and Anxious. Alright, so let's check the TDS here. We've got 30 in there. So there's still a little TDS in there, so it only fluctuated 10. Now what I'll do, I got a separate Python that goes into my tap water. Let me go ahead and show you a sample of my tap water too. It's been a while since I've actually looked. Let's take a little sample, a little hot, a little cold, because that's how I usually run it. Now if you got a hot water heater and stuff, you may get a different reading out of your hot water heater opposed to just your cold water, vice versa. So it's always good to kind of put the temperature at what you're normally going to use in there. So I usually grab from both lines. And let's see, we're about 300 TDS. That's kind of low for mine. Not really bad. That's kind of ideal water. Alright. So there's that. Flip this one out. I usually just hang up here on the door, like so. Make it nice and easy. And replace it with this one. Now you can see this tube, the difference. Look at all the calcium built up on this tube from the hardness. And then the soft one, you can see it looks almost brand new from being soft water. That's why soft water tanks always look so clean, because they don't have the calcium buildup. But, you know, this is free fertilizer and mineralizer for a lot of my plants, so I go with it. Let's get this thing on the TDS meter, get this thing started. Oh yeah, and I'm gonna, after we get these legs, do we get to see fishes? Yeah, you get to see lots of fishes. Let's look at some fishes. Here's some baby rainbow fish I've been breeding up. See, we got baby Bomani. Let me turn this off. Or baby Bomani rainbow fish. We've got upper Tour River species that's unnamed. Red Waponga laser. What else is in here? I think that's it for these guys. I got some baby Millennium Orange albino rainbow fish growing up in here with a bunch of orange shrimp, Neocaridinius. And these guys like the harder water. This is all harder water. And here I've got some itty bitty peacock goby babies. See if you can see them. You can kind of see them darting around a little bit. Tiny little guys. Not sure how long they're going to take to grow. And then over here I got some baby dwarf neon rainbow fish. Down here I got a bunch of blue dreams and scuds, which scuds are like the ultimate algae eater. This little blue dream in here. I actually need to put a rainbow fish in here. Probably going to do C. Alleni rainbow fish. Can we see the CO49s? Yeah, I just moved those. Those are in the big fish room right now. So we can move our way. I did get some pea puffers to help mediate some Daphnia. There's the Pseudomugil Aru 2s. And there's some Hygrophila compacta. That's that rare pilomoss. Some cherry shrimps in here. These are actually ready for breeding. Other stuff, but I'm always doing so many things. It's hard to do it all. One more thing I need to do in here is I gotta dechlor this water. Okay. Any purple shrimp we can see? No, not at the moment. I'm not sure where I'd find one, to be honest. Actually, I've been slacking so much on creating new types of shrimp lately, just because I've been so focused on fish and trying to get tanks up and just trying to keep up with everything. What was I coming in here for? Jimmy wanted to see, what was it? I got these new guys. Some albino guppies, reds. What the heck was it? Oh, the CW49s. I've got a pair in here, which you're probably not going to see them. They hide pretty good. They hide really good. Where are they at? Yeah, of course, they're not going to be around. Alright, let's see. Purple shrimp. I don't know if I can find one. There may be one in this tank. Blue. Here's the Dumbo ear guppy. And let's see any purples. There's some crystals. Alright, let's get these legs on this thing. But I definitely need to work on shrimp more. I really just don't have. I only got so much time in a day. It gets crazy. But eventually I'll get somebody hopefully to help out, and yeah, I'll be able to start focusing on that stuff a little more. Do I ship to Canada? Unfortunately I can't. I'm going to need to set you guys up for this. I got this little thing you can kind of bend around. I can clip the camera on. This is kind of nice. I can clip it wherever I want. I got a tripod coming in too, which that's going to help. Oh, I did want to show you guys this too. This is kind of cool. This is what inspired me to do this tetra breeding. Let me show you guys. I know it's like I got ADD. I need that clippy thing. Yeah, it wasn't too bad off of eBay. There we go. Out of the way. But this is the article that really helped motivate me into doing more. This is Amazonas Magazine. If you guys don't know what it is, definitely check it out. It's the most important one for this hobby, I believe, for freshwater aquariums. Like, they usually have like all the new fish coming out. Hans Greger, if any of you guys know, or Hans George Evers, I meant. He is one of the biggest producers on here. And this is talking about how these locally bred people in Germany like breed out all these tetras, like up to 4,000 fish a month, just for the Serpa tetras, and they can't keep up with demand. And here, let's see, in this picture they show kind of the mesh bags, similar to what I use. I like the black a little better. What they do is they put the breeding groups in each one of these, then they lay eggs off everywhere. They got like 500 tanks, 3 employees, and then they treat with methyl blue, all that. They get all these babies, all that jazz. They do a lot of angelfish too, but very good read. Definitely helped motivate me into doing this a little more. And I've always wanted to do tetras. Always wanted to do tetras. I have so many people ask me, like, why are you going after tetras? Like, nobody breeds them. And that's when I said, yeah, exactly. Nobody breeds them. Like, it's hard to find good tetras, hobbyist bred tetras. So I love all the community fish, and the cool thing is when you breed all those out, you get to keep huge schools of them. So I'll have all these huge schools of these tetras that I've always wanted, which will just be a win-win for sure. Like, I absolutely love the idea of having those big schools. Yeah, let's show some CPDs. Kind of waiting on this water right now before I glue, because I know I'll start gluing that, and then next thing I know, I'm going to have to run and grab that. But let's go ahead and grab these eggs out of here. Hopefully there's eggs in here. These are Celestial Pearl Danios, Rummy Dank Tank says. I've seen Rummy Nose flying around that tank earlier. Who knows? May show his face again. I'm going to get some more water in another container. I should do a video on that because I did it a different way that I've seen most videos on YouTube. Not sure what you're talking about, but sounds like you should. Alright, let's see. I'll wash my hand real quick. That way, I mean, I don't know if there's really anything in that tank where it shouldn't spread, but I always like to. I'm a little OCD. And I've always got a towel, dirty towel in front, clean towel in the back. Alright, this is about full. Let's check the TDS on here. Get my meter out, my meter reader. Let's see, we're at about 94, 92. So more than likely we'll be at about 100 by the time it gets up to this rim. So what I'll do is I'll end up cycling it around a little bit, and then I'll use some of it and then add to it. That's why I always just try to stay within a range instead of just trying to pinpoint it, because it could always just fluctuate like between 50 ppms and these tanks and stuff while that's going. You have towels permanently tucked into your pants. That's legit. Yeah, pretty much. That's my uniform. Let's go ahead and shut these off right now. Get these legs on this tank. Actually, I need to. Oh yeah, we gotta cycle this water around. Let's go ahead and do that. Show you guys how I do that. It's pretty easy, straightforward. What I will do, stick this one for the RO back in. There. Then I'll just stick this pump in here, and I'll let it run a while, and then that way it's all cycled and everything gets dechlorinated, like the dechlorinator doesn't stick in the bottom, vice versa. Hopefully this thing don't pop out. Don't need that. Always got to kind of set the line up a little bit, keep it from doing that. There we go. So that'll help cycle it around for a little while. Get it nice and ready, nice and mixed. That can run for quite a while. Make sure it's not going to fall down on me. Always buy on Craigslist. You can get a whole setup like $1 per gallon. Yeah, I agree. I don't like to spend more than $1 a gallon on tanks at all. If so, I'd already been broke more than I am already. All these tanks are $1 a gallon. Even these 125s I found on Craigslist for $1 a gallon. Like, see this tank? It's got blemish on it and everything, but you know, 125 bucks for a tank like that, you don't even barely notice the blemish. So it's worth it in my eyes. Like this one had like chip, yeah, a chip on the corner here when I bought it. But you know, it's treated me well. Now on to these legs. And I will be able to read your guys' questions too here on this. So if you do have questions, now would be the time to ask. Oh, we'll have to move this around. Going for a ride, guys. Going for a ride. Oh, son of a... Well, dang it, I just broke. Hold on, locked it up. Well, so much for that. I just snapped that in half. That's what I get for buying stuff from China. eBay special. Dang it. Well, that bites. I don't know how to do that now. Lagging? Yeah, I might be lagging. I do got a head cam. Could break out the head cam for you guys. But it's kind of hard for me to see your chat when I do the head cam. We'll see here. At least there was no water there in front of that. That could have been bad. If I would have had that clamp on the other side, it could have easily went into some water. Here we go. We can break out the head cam. Old little things for YouTube I get. I say I don't really spend money on YouTube, but this buying stuff like this kind of do. Next time buy America, right? Sometimes that's not an option though. So here I can get you guys on the chat here. And yeah, as always, you guys, I see some people left me some comments down here. If you guys do got questions that I don't get to, you could always leave comments in the comment section of the video, and I always try to get to all of them. There's only one video that I didn't get to all of them, and that was that world's biggest antique collection. That's because it just ran amok before I could even get to it. So let me flip you guys' chat around. That way I can see that. But I don't know. I'm going to be looking at that while I'm doing that. I don't know. We'll see. Let's see what happens here. Throw you guys on this. Try not to hit the power button. Alright. Head cam on. Yeah. Alright. I think you guys can see this thing quite a bit. Alright. First thing first, pop this thing off. Silicone is already getting kind of hard. Let's get a paper towel here. Get that chunk off there. Let's see, I'm here party alone. Just need a biosponge. Alright, I think I see a question there. Hey Lucas, what is the hardest part of raising Tetra fry? How do you get through it? Hardest part, I would say, is just feeding them, getting them food good enough to eat and to grow up on. And that's the thing about a lot of my tanks is a lot of them are very natural and they have a lot of microorganisms in there, whether it be microscopic algae, microscopic Artemia, Cyclops, just little stuff like that, Daphnia. I also have, let me see, actually let me finish this. Why this glue's coming out on me. I don't even know if you guys can see this well or not. If not, just hang on. Actually, it looks like it's coming alright. I can see it coming through this video, so that's cool. It gives me kind of a replay. Now I lost one of these. Oh where did my other leg go? Now, it couldn't have gone that far. Did you guys see it? You guys know where it's at? I can't find it. How in the world does that even happen? Like, there's not that far to go here. Well, ain't that something? I guess I'll get another one. Luckily, I got a bunch of random stuff that I keep back. Kind of a hoarder on things. You never know when you need some weird part for something. So let's just go ahead and get this out. Dang, that really sucks about that clip. So that's going to be hard to do the CPD eggs. This thing, man, it kind of hurts my brain a little bit. Presses right on my third eye. Alright, let's get this last one in here so we can forget about it. Alright, boom. I mean, look, that's no order to that at all. That's alright. It doesn't have to be pretty. Actually, I'm going to seal this up good. Yeah, it should be good enough. If they don't hold, I got more glue. We'll see. Alright, clean this stuff off. Because if you don't clean this off, the lid, you'll have a heck of a time getting the lid off next time. I've learned that the hard way. Alright, got a little vinegar on my finger from this. I can feel it. Let me put this back up. Let me get this head cam off. It's still mixing good. Alright. So we got the legs on that. Wash my fingers. I have opened my third eye. I use a pin to get the silicone out into the tube. Yeah, I had to use a screw, a nail, all kinds of stuff. It was like trying to break into Fort Knox. Trying to get that to work again. That sealant. Sometimes it's not that easy. Stream skipped. Yeah, it may skip here and there. Good thing about the replay actually picks up on the skips. I've learned that, which is kind of nice. So now if I get like a blank tank or something, since I have legs on here, I just stick it into like an empty tank, whether it be a 40 I could stick it up on here and those, and essentially what will happen is it's pretty much the same thing as that. It's just this is actually a tank. They might feel safer in this, so it actually will be a good test to actually see which one will work better, because most of them that I breed all have like the same parameters, whatnot, and we'll see what they feel more comfortable in. So a lot of this is a learning process for me as well, and I'm just kind of sharing it with you guys. Let's see if there's any CPD eggs in here. I guess I'll just have to hold the phone. What I like to do, I like to shake up the subwasser tang. A little subwasser tang in there and some needle leaf java fern. And if you notice, I got two containers going on here. This is the main container that has the eggs in it, hopefully. And then the secondary ones to shake these off, and if there's any straggling eggs. Because these eggs really aren't adhesive and they should roll off of the subwasser tang. You could use reishi, you could use other mosses. I just had a lot of this, and soft water really likes subwasser tang, so I put the two together. A lot of the times that's what it is just like finding what will balance your tank out for what you're looking for. Yeah, stick a big flat head down this thing too. Yeah, oh, there's a baby fish in there. Here we go. Like right off the bat I saw one flying around. Where's it at? If you look right in front of the tip of my fingernail, this thing is a baby fish. Kinda hard to see. Let me get a light in here. I don't even have my garage light on. There's so many lights in here, it's kind of hard to really recognize it. Yeah, it is an awesome surprise with some fry right off the bat. Gotta love that. Let's see, where can I see it real good? There you can see eggs down there. That's those little dots, kind of clear looking ball things. Let's see, which tank we're going to put them in. I want to put them in this tank. You might be able to see the fry come out and the eggs come out better. Oh, I saw him jumping around. Let's see if he jumps again. He's wondering what is going on. Keep getting all these notifications. Blocking my view. Here we go. Where are you, little fish? See, there's some eggs. Yeah, quite a few in there. Not really picking up the fish, but definitely see the eggs. Then they'll grow up, start looking like that. And I've got two groups of these that I breed out. These are starting to get decent size. Then I've got some bigger ones in here. I'm fighting green water. I stuck plants in here before the cycle. I really screwed up by sticking plants in before the cycle because they all pretty much melted off and really screwed things up for me. So I'm trying to bounce back from all that. Same thing I did with that tank. I mean, all these other tanks I did fine because I let the cycle go, but that tank because I didn't let the cycle go, and I've been fighting it for a long time. So do yourself a favor and go through the cycle. Oh, where's my other container? There we go. Need that back to put the subwasser tank in, obviously. Then I've got one more to do of these guys. I may just wait to do that. Oh, I guess it won't take long. I can't see the chat here, so you guys can ask questions. I know I said that a couple times and I didn't really answer that many questions, but now I didn't really see many eggs in here. I always put it in there just in case. Alright, so we got that. Another, we got trolls in here, I guess. You'll have that. Alright, put this back. Low DPK. East egg. Alright, I need a step stool for this. Chair. See how many we get out of this group here. And see, if you guys notice, I'm mixing the groups I'll be mixing the groups of eggs in the tanks. That way they won't all be brother and sister. Gonna take that out slow. That stuff wants to. These in here, these adults, them females are looking super preggers still, so I'm wondering if there's even eggs in here as fat as they're looking. I know they're looking good though, because there's a bunch of live food microorganisms in here. It's like these tiny little fly midges, larvae they've been snacking on. Let's see what we got in here. What's behind cup number 2? Hey, Mark. Falling asleep here. I gotta go. Hope you all have a good night. Good night, Dorothy. Like I said, I'm on the chat now. 161 in here. That's pretty good. Guess, oh, down to 155. Guess a lot of people didn't want to see if we got more in the second cup or not. But yeah, I figured this would be a good way to kind of go through this stuff with you guys live, and instead of having to worry about waiting to edit, because I've got so much footage I need to edit right now. But I just haven't had time, so let's see what's in this second batch. Oh, hold on. Got this nasty like algae and root stuff going on. Alright. Oh no, you guys are gone. Just playing. Had to set you guys down for a second. Alright, let's see what we got here. We got any? There's, I think, an egg. Man, really not much in there. Oh, there's a couple. Few eggs, not really a whole lot. But at least there's some. Alright. Is this Tuesday and Lucas is working on orders and shipments? Actually, now that you bring that up, that's actually what I plan on doing it right when I get off of here. I didn't have that many orders this week, so I didn't have to start as early. But I'll have them out by tomorrow morning. But I'll be up all night long. Because I always stay up all night just so I know that the fish and shrimp I ship out, they're going to be in the mail the least time that way. They're not just sitting in boxes waiting to go out. They go straight to the post office and then they go straight out from there, which helps on stuff. Man, I'm not seeing anything in there. The shrimp that you sent me are doing great. Glad to hear that, Runner X. Alright, well, not much in there. So yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to show you guys. Went over the tetra breeding stuff. Got the legs on that. I still gotta fill these tanks up, like Short and Anxious said. I've got some orders I gotta get to. Showed you guys how I did my water, all that jazz. I think that's all I was gonna go through. I did write a list, so I guess I could check that real quick. I think that's about it. So if you guys have a question, now's the time to ask, or comment below and I'll answer later on. Until then, let me see. Here's the note. Sphagnum moss, rainbow fish, CPD eggs, tank legs, embers, blue gularis. Oh, I was going to move the blue gularis over, but I'll probably wait to do that. Give them more time. Amazonas and glow light. Oh yeah, glow lights will be my next project. That's what I'm going to end up putting in there. Thanks for reminding him about the orders. Now he's going to end the stream. Well, I was pretty much going to end the stream around this time now, unless you guys had some questions for me. Because I pretty much covered everything. Besides moving these blue gularis, the male to the females over here. But the longer I wait on them, the more eggs they'll give me. Alright, so I'm not seeing any questions here. Does the sphagnum moss have to be alive? I prefer to have it alive than dead. It works better that way. You can get it cheap on eBay. Look at how the killifish. Killifish are doing great. Babies are getting big fast. Thanks DPK. Thanks Roma. But yeah, here I'll show you the juvenile real quick. There's one juvenile in here that's getting pretty big and it ain't been that long. Oh, there it is. Alright guys. Till next time, I'll be on here tomorrow too, regular scheduling on Wednesday. Any other types of fish that are easy to breed other than guppies, rainbow fish, really whatever. Any fish can be easy to breed depending on your water and what effort you want to put forth towards it. But you can pretty much breed almost anything if you put your mind to it. But alright, I'll see you guys tomorrow. And you guys all have a good night. Peace.